everybody, and welcome back. I am Susie, and here with me is my beautiful guest host,
George, what's going on?
and this is the
I know, right?
podcast. We're so profesh.
No, we're not.
So, how has everything been going, George?
Everything's good. Everything's all right. Nice, good week. Hit the gym hard, so I'm a little sore right now.
You actually did hit the gym hard this
Yep.
week, and we were talking about your hamstrings a lot.
Yes. Fuck, Monday killed me, and I'm still sore. It's Sunday.
Are you
and I'm
still sore?
Yeah, I have terrible hamstrings, though. That's why. So.
I feel like that is not true, and if we were to have a terrible hamstring contest, I'd be very close to the winner, to being the winner.
No, yeah. I tore a hamstring in high school, and
Oh,
I
did
never,
you?
and I never like even went to like the doctor or like.
That's gotta be very painful.
Yeah, so I never really like did anything to kind of fix it. So things like heavy deadlifts and stuff like that just kind of
Aggravates it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah.
All right, well, my week's been good too. Nothing crazy. I actually didn't get to hit the gym hard this week. We've had a lot of work. It's January, so we've had like a very large onslaught of new members, and we're understaffed. So I am, coaching more hours than usual, and yeah, so I've just been really busy, and then trying to catch up on sleep and all that in between. But like this week was pretty calm. We were like expecting this really heavy snowstorm Friday night, then Saturday night, and all these, and then it's like super lame.
Yeah.
We've had a really mild winter, which if anyone knows me knows I hate being cold or snow, and I probably should not drive, period. But driving in that type of weather is not a good idea.
Yeah, Susie's freaking code when she's in the gym, and we're all full out Canada Goose, freaking Scully when she's teaching class, and it's just insane. It's just like, come on, Susie.
I was not born to suffer. I am not about this life.
No, yeah, definitely for sure. So yeah, it was a mild winter. I mean,
it's January, but still.
yeah,
like,
I don't think we're gonna get hit hard though.
I don't
yeah,
either.
So I think maybe climate change is a part to do with that.
100%. Like, I know there's going to be people that highly disagree, but it has been, like, the past few
Yeah.
winters have been pretty mild. We've had, like, weeks that have been cold, but not like when I was a kid.
Yeah, it kind of scares me a little bit. So it's kind of like, what's really going on? You know what I mean? So,
For sure. And then our summer kind of sucked because of it.
Yeah.
We had, like, a rainy June. It sucked.
It's kind of weird, yeah. So, and then our Halloween, it was freezing.
Oh, it snowed.
It was freezing on our Halloween.
I felt bad for those kids. It
Yeah.
snowed so hard. So if
Definitely.
you're not in this area of the world, just know that wherever you are, it might be a little bit better.
Unless you're in Australia. Australia's.
Oh
getting-
yeah, that was so insensitive
Let's not
of
get
me.
into
Yeah,
that,
but
yeah. So.
yeah, goals would be for me to have like a winter home
Oh,
where it's summer there. I can't with this. cold.
where is your summer home though?
I don't know. Ideally, it would be Mexico, but I'd be happy in like Miami. I'd be happy in like San Diego. I think I require an ocean,
Right.
even though I don't swim. But that's a whole other story too. We'll get back to that at some point.
Yeah, I never really thought about Mexico because I guess my mom did leave it in her will, but like her home in Mexico, she left it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I already feel like I got a home there. So like I'm just like, if I would save enough money, I'd probably move to like I visited Arizona. Arizona's really awesome.
Yeah, you liked it.
And San Diego. I want to visit San Diego. I just heard it's really, really crazy pricey, but we'll see how it is.
I like hot, and so I think Arizona I would like. We're talking about our lives a little bit later, right, George?
Definitely.
But a fun fact, now that you brought up your mom, is that our moms are from the same place in
Yes.
Mexico. And I think that's what started this whole like bonding experience between George and I. He went to Mexico last year.
Yeah.
And he did the same thing that I do when people ask me about when I would visit my mom's childhood home in Mexico. Where I'm like, what part did you go to? And he's like, where my mom's from? Like, you don't know it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of left it alone. And I'm like, but like, where is it? And he told me the state, which is Jalisco, which is where my parents are from. And he's like, it's this, no one knows it. Like just like shut him. And that's what I do too when people ask me. And then he said the name, Colotlan, repping hard, that's it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? It's like so rare to find someone in this specific area from that same town.
Right. And it was so funny because she's like, wait, do you mean Oko clan or do you mean this clan or do you mean this clan? I was like, no. I was like, Colo clan. And
Yeah,
I was
which is what everyone also says. Like when I tell people Colo clan, and they're like,
Yeah.
are you sure you don't mean Ocotlan, or I'm like,
Right.
I think I know the name, you know. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so but I mean, and it tells in the personalities. She's from like the city, and I'm from like the rancho
He's
side,
from
right?
the ranch.
Yeah. So when I told her where I was from, it's a small town ranch outside of Coloclan.
Like right outside,
And then she just gave you that look, like, oh, you're from there, like, you know, that bougie thing that they do, you know, when you're like from there.
As far as I'm concerned, Colotlan's a small town too. So.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
My mom would highly disagree. She's like, no, it's a big town. But yeah, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that
so
was
we'll talk
awesome.
about a little bit about us later on.
Yeah, definitely.
But we really want to get into a little bit more of what this podcast will be like and the structure. It'll be more like itself in the subsequent episodes, but here, since we're going into a little backstory, we still have to get that out of the way. And
Yeah, you know the introductions, you know, like chapter 1 in a book, you know, or in the introduction pages and stuff like that, who we are and about the author and stuff like that. So that's who we're gonna get into today.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
So I did want to start off with a really interesting Reddit question, which is something that will be part of the show.
Right. So it's either a Reddit question, or if we get any fan questions, that's gonna be definitely how we're gonna start off the show, and just like, and hopefully that leads into more into like what the heck, you know, kind of conversations.
Yeah. So this question caught me. It like caught my attention. I thought it was fun. I haven't really had that much time to think about it, but the question is, how much damage can you cause with $10? $10.
$10 is nothing.
$10 is a lot if you know what to do.
No, I would be very bad at that. I would like to hear. Look, I'm gonna tell my answer right away because I already know. I'd probably like make chickens like all day,
Make
every day. You know,
chickens?
yeah, freaking dollar menu. I do easily, like maybe 4 McChickens, 3 McChickens, right? And then I'd probably do like, I really don't know. Like that, I could just think about food. Like I'd eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's what I would do with $10.
With
$3 here, $3
$10.
there, and an all dollar menu. That's what I would do.
Okay, that is not surprising. I don't feel like that was a surprising answer. With me,
Wait. Why is it not surprising? I want to know this. Why?
Because I feel that
Because of my body type? Is that
No,
what you're trying to get to?
I'm not body shaming you. Okay, don't you dare. Okay, I feel though that males would think about, okay, I'm gonna eat. Like I'm gonna use those $10 to eat.
Yeah,
right?
that's so true. Very true.
But since I've already mentioned my lack of, very good driving skills and all that, I would probably put like $2 to $3 of gas. Okay, so then I can go downtown and I would buy something stupid, like the most like if you've ever seen like those restaurants that sell like highly expensive like cookies or cupcakes or something, just so that I can then Instagram it and make myself seem more lavish, even though I just had $10 for this whole excursion. That's what I would do. Or my second option would be if I wanted to spend more for the buck, for the $10, I would go to my local corner store in Merrill's Park, okay? And then I would freaking, $10 is so much there, and I would get a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Oh, man.
Because, yeah, I am that person. I would get a bag of grape Bubblicious gum. I would get a bag of the spicy garbanzos. Have you ever seen those like at the
Yes,
Mexican
yes.
grocery store? I'm about that life. And then the next candy that I like is like the fake communion wafers, where they just melt in your mouth. That's like those are the candies.
Those are
that-
nasty.
I love them. You just put them in your mouth and they melt.
No, those are
it's like
disgusting.
air calories.
No, yeah, you're eating air. Like you're eating. You know what you're eating? You're eating the styrofoam peanuts that are inside like Amazon boxes or something like that when they deliver your like fridge or something. Like,
I'm
that's not-
sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, that is the second way that I would spend my money, and then I wouldn't have to pay for gas because I would just walk there.
Yeah.
Exercise for
Get
the
that- oh,
Flamin'
nice.
Hot Cheetos.
You know what I really love? I love how in each of your scenarios you have like a feel good kind of thing, like exercise when I'm spending $10, and then the first one was like I'm gonna fake my whole $10 that I'm more rich and I'm gonna get this
Yeah, you have to fake
like
it.
$8 cupcake and like fake it on Instagram.
You have to fake it to make it.
You would do something like
Yeah, I
that.
would.
So now you know if you see her Instagram, like, oh, she probably has $10 in her
Just
pocket.
know that I at least have $10. I at least put $3 of gas.
Yeah.
Just know that.
That's awesome. So we're gonna start off with the question, and then next, what are we moving into?
We
What's
are
one of our
actually moving
topics?
into weekly gossip. So this is stuff that my whole life, I've just kept in, kept in mind the stuff that happens, whether it's just like overall like movie or TV news or celebrity news and like all the little things that like I'm like, oh, that's gonna be important, and I'm able to like notice it. Okay.
Other people's lives and stuff like that. That's basically what she's talking about.
Yes, yes, and it's probably not healthy because it's been my whole life.
Yes, it is. Gossip. So we are a little bit about woo, and then that's probably like really bad. Talking about other people and gossips and stuff like that. Like that's like terrible.
I feel that if I were talking about people that I know in a negative light, then yes, I would agree with you. But since I'm talking about celebrities and still not, I am just being the broadcaster to the people that I know about what is happening.
Right. That's true.
So,
yeah, she doesn't really like say like that's a bad idea or that's a good idea. She just says like this is what's going on.
And this week it just like touched my heart.
Oh God, here we go. Tell me what's going on.
So we just passed the SAG Awards. If you don't know what SAG stands for, it is the Screen Actors Guild Awards, okay? And I really pay attention to these awards because even though you have the Golden Globes beforehand and all that stuff, the Golden Globes are voted on, the people that win, they are voted on by the international press. So they pick the winners. And it's more of a party scene, I think. The SAG Awards are voted, the awards, the actual winners are voted on by actors. It's the screen actors. So anyone that, if you make a commercial in the year 2019, you're able to vote and choose. So like people that are in this Actors Guild, a lot of them are also in the Academy that votes for the Academy Awards. So it's a really good precursor to know like who's gonna win, okay? First of all, super excited, I'm a fan, and I think sometimes people don't give him enough credit because he's had like a very, public and weird, honestly, like just really avant-garde type of life, Brad Pitt, okay?
Oh, okay.
And,
I think I know where this is going now.
And
okay.
he won Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was an awesome movie. If you have not seen that, it was really good. I was very lackluster with movies at that time. The most exciting thing that happened at that point was like Endgame. And that was really exciting, but like, you want like a story that's gonna make you think and have you have conversations with your friends about it. And when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, wow. Like Brad Pitt and Leo and Quentin did an awesome job. So I'm glad that he won. So he wins, okay? And then they pan to like Jennifer Aniston, which is his ex. They got divorced in 2005, okay? And now Brad's single, she's single. And it was just like a very beautiful interaction, like her watching his speech. Whatever, that was over, okay? So, and then he's backstage. She wins for a show, which was awesome too. I'm like, oh wow, like she won too. I haven't watched the show, so I really can't give an opinion on it. She wins, and when she wins, he's backstage and stops what he's doing to look at her speech on the screen. And I found that so endearing. And then all these pictures started popping up, and they were popping up as I was watching the presentation. Like, she's walking backstage, he pulls her, he grabs her from the wrist, they like look at each other, they like embrace, they're talking and looking at each other with such loving eyes.
Oh,
I actually got lacrimos. Like I teared up. I did, and I was just like, I couldn't even speak about it. I was like, and I couldn't even talk. And I just find it endearing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they'll get back together. I hope so. Maybe they won't. But I think that moment when you're able to put all that stuff away and behind, and they can be genuinely happy for each other, is a beautiful thing.
Definitely, yeah. It is a beautiful thing, but
Yeah.
I feel like you're projecting like this happy ending story. Then that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think you always see something behind that, and you're always like, oh, they're gonna get married and have these kids, and then I'm just saying, okay, let that be, and let bygones be bygones, and that's it. You know,
It would just make me happy. It would just it would make me believe in love.
That's like that Cinderella story, or that's like the every Disney story.
But
like,
it is also not. If this were an actual fairy tale, this is not a fairy tale that favors a woman. Like, he basically cheated on her, broke up with her, and then it's been 15 years.
Yeah,
And,
so, I mean,
this whole time, it's like she's been waiting, and she didn't
you
have
know what
kids
the
in this whole time.
But the real cool thing would be if she fucking doesn't get back with him and she fucking lives on and she beats a badass and then she fucking meets this awesome ass dude. And like you could have had this and you didn't and you fucked up. That would have been a better story.
That can be a good story.
But why does the guy have to go and act like an asshole and he could do whatever the fuck he wants to do and come back?
This is a good point, and I think a lot of times people think that that's what I'm implying by them getting back together. They're like, didn't he ruin her life? He did ruin her life, and I was very, very upset about that.
Okay.
Because, well, at the same time, like, they're celebrities. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
True.
But I just like the fact that they're able to get at this place, and a lot happened. I mean, I'm not the same person from last year. A lot can happen in 15 years. Maybe she was at that point, because she did marry at some point. At some point she was like, I don't need you, like, good riddance, blah, 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 and then she moved on. So I think maybe now, I don't know. It just, like, it makes me super happy to think about it. The possibilities that love can rekindle after all this time, and that he would realize, the most important thing is that he would realize that he made a mistake.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to tell you, she's too hot to be with him. She aged really well, and he did not.
I think that he looks fine. I think that he's still attractive. And I've never been like, ooh, a Brad Pitt person. Like, you know how people were like crazy for him when like he came out in Thelma and Louise and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been like my sister is the biggest like Brad Pitt person, but I've always, you can't deny that someone, like, he's not ugly. He's not an ugly man.
Yeah, he's not.
And I think that he has aged okay. I don't think he looks terrible, like you just said. And I think that she has aged pretty well. People sometimes say such rude things about her, but I think she's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think she's aged perfectly
aged
fine.
really well. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the juicy gossip.
That's the juicy gossip of the week.
Oh God.
Yeah. I've been on this all week. All week,
Nice.
texting with my sisters. I have a sisters thread. I have 2 sisters, and my niece is on this thread as well. And we're just like talking about the whole time. And I was letting them know play by play as the awards were happening.
That's hilarious.
And then they'll send me something. I know my sister Carmen is a police officer, so she follows all the local police departments. And the Park Forest Police put out a post of like the Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt picture.
Oh, my
Did I tell you about this?
No, you did not.
And they were like, there has been a recent event. This was so funny of them. They're like, we are aware that there was a sighting at the SAG Awards of Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston embracing. And for those of you that were hurt by their breakup in 2005, this might have rekindled those same feelings. And since it's out of our jurisdiction, we can't do anything about it for property damage of broken hearts. They're like, but know that we're here for you. And I thought that was hysterical. I mean, if like local police departments are talking about it.
I guess we got to talk about it on our podcast.
But yeah, I was happy, and I'm very excited to see what happens next. But
We'll see. You know what? I honestly feel like the media has so much power that kind of like just ends up happening.
Yeah.
Like they just throw it out there that it kind of just like, hey, maybe it's true, and it just happens. And it just
well, I think now, like with the power of like social media and cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, someone caught him really quick, like super fast, where before it would have been just rumors, like he was looking at her, accept her speech. And now, like someone was too quick, took a picture, and then it was, like went viral. It was everywhere, yeah. So there's no such thing as privacy anymore.
You better
I
watch
guess.
out, guys, if you're out there.
Don't try to have a secret boo.
Yeah.
But did you hear about the Dolly Parton challenge?
You know what? No, you know what? I think you told me a little bit about it, and then I kind of just like figured it out like slowly. I was just like, so this is what everyone's putting these pictures about?
Yeah, so like I started seeing these pictures on Instagram where it's like a cubed, like 4 pictures in the cube, and they're pretty funny. It's like one's your LinkedIn picture, which is a more professional picture. One's your Facebook picture, which is more like you being just like yourself but serious. And then you have your Instagram where it's you being fun, and then you have Tinder where you're like probably not wearing a lot of clothes. And they started calling it the Dolly Parton challenge, and I was like, what does Dolly Parton have to do with this? And then I go onto Dolly Parton's Instagram, and she did that. She like was very clever, or her team, and they made these pictures, and Her Tinder picture was her when she had posed for Playboy, and
Oh, nice. I gotta check that out.
so awesome. Like, if you don't know Dolly Parton, she has been just like a pioneer for women in country. So I'm not a fan of current country. Do you like country?
I don't like country at all.
I don't like country now, and I know like I mean, obviously there are so many fans. Like these concerts have like they sell out. To me, modern country is like just like ballads, right? Like pop songs with like more guitars. That's what country sounds like to me. And my mom, because a lot of my friends were like, "How do you even know who Dolly Parton is? Like, you're Mexican, right?" But my mom, thankfully, has a very large repertoire and taste in music. She has lots of records and all that stuff. And we're into country from like the beginning to 1980. Once 1980 hits, it's like all that like ballady stuff, which I don't enjoy. So we listen to old country at my house a lot. And Dolly Parton was like a very young woman that started, I think she was like 15 or so, and she was like a big pioneer for females. Not only that, like if you know anything about her, she has big boobs. Like she has.
That's the only thing I know about her.
She has like she's built, right? So like that.
She's what built?
She's built.
Oh,
You know, like
okay.
she has a body, and so you would expect her to just be like this bimbo, and she's like a very good singer. She is a very good actress, actually. By the way, if you've never seen her act in any movie, I would suggest watch 9 to 5 with Jane Fonda and Lily Tom. It's like so amazing. You've never seen 9 to 5?
Never seen 9 to
Like
5.
working 9 to 5.
Oh, I know the song then. I
Yeah.
probably know the song.
So watch that movie, guys. But anyways, she's a really kick-ass person, and she could have had that hinder her career or just been like this sex, bombshell type of
Right.
person. She uses it to her advantage, and at that time when she started off, there was just like a couple of women, female lead country singers, and she's one of them. And so for her to still be relevant and like to put something out like this now, I thought that was awesome. And so I did my Dolly Parton challenge for that reason.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us in the car or on the radio or anything like that, you won't be able to see it. But if you're on a video, if you're on our YouTube, you'll be able to see it right here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to put that up, and you're going to check out Susie's.
Dolly Parton challenge pictures. It's funny because it is very similar to what I have posted up for. I don't have Tinder. I will make that clear right now. I don't have Tinder. I think I am going to eventually explore like dating apps, but not.
Oh, wow.
I don't think Tinder though.
We got to get into that.
Yeah, I don't think Tinder though. I think that's just like I don't know. But I do have a little thirst trap up for the Tinder picture. And then we'll see if everyone thinks if that's appropriate or not.
Thirst trap. Oh, my God.
Thirst trap.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Awesome.
So where do we go from here?
Okay, we can talk about ourselves.
So, yeah. So let's move into... Are we going to go into you first?
Yeah,
Susie, or
okay,
how's
I
it going?
can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
so
talk about me.
We're already 25 minutes in, I think. Yeah, 23 minutes in. So
Okay.
let's see how quick we can say these.
Okay.
I'll probably speed it up on video, so we'll see how that
All right,
goes.
we'll
No.
speed it up on video.
No,
so
we won't. I'm just kidding.
we'll sound like little munchkins, little chipmunks. Okay, so I'm Susie Castro. I'm very proud to be a Castro. If you're a Castro, you guys just know. Okay.
Oh, God.
But I was born and raised in Melrose Park. I still live in Melrose Park. I am Melrose Park, like, I'm there. Like, if you're from Melrose Park, there's just like a certain kind of camaraderie that you have. But I was born and raised there. I went to the local grade school, Melrose Park School. I went to Proviso East High School in Maywood. As we mentioned in the previous episode, I have 2 daughters. I had them really young, like when I was 10. No, I'm just kidding. I had them pretty young, though. I had them pretty young. And that was what became so much of who I am, right? Like, I have 2 older sisters and an older brother. My parents were divorced. My dad actually took off on my mom when she was pregnant with me. So, yeah, I had daddy issues for a bit. But, like, my mom, she was just, like, your typical, like, straight-up gangster, like, mom. She was not going to put up with any shenanigans, So when I got pregnant, that was, like, a big thing, a big shock. Obviously, I was very young, and, a kid, and she was very disappointed. I was the youngest also. I know, it's terrible. Makes me feel bad.
So you're the baby of the family.
I'm the baby.
Really?
I mean, is that not obvious?
No, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I am the baby of the family. So yeah, and I became a single mom too, like really quick. Once I was pregnant with my second daughter, when I decided that relationship was not going to follow me for the rest of my life. I knew like either, and my mom told me too, she's like, okay, like you're pregnant a second time, either you stay with this person forever and deal with it and learn how to handle and go through all these things, or you have to get out now. And I was like, yeah, I have to get out now. So, and unfortunately, like he did not stick around either to raise his daughters, to co-parent. And I think that was just, I think back then though, like co-parenting was not seen as important or something as it is now. Now you just see so much more of it, and people are able to at least do that if they're not getting along. And I've spoken to him very rarely since. Yeah, and it's crazy. He's my most important, I say this to like the girls, like he's my most important co-creator. Like I created the most important things with him, and yet like you can't.
But wait, you said that this was the most important thing in the first podcast.
I said
so
this
like...
was the coolest thing. I said this was the coolest thing I've ever done, but they're probably the most important thing. So yeah, he's the most important co-creator of my life, but unfortunately, sometimes creation does not mean longevity. And so I think that propelled me to just be like, I grew up fast in a lot of ways, and I think I did something super late also in a lot of ways. Like I didn't have a lot of like dating experience, stuff like that, because I mean, I didn't want to be that statistical, like, I didn't want people to think of me that way, like the teen mom that's like doesn't graduate high school, which I did, that doesn't go to college, which, I did, and that's just like around dating boy to boy, even though she has kids at home. I didn't want to be seen as that. And I think that's also something that I'm working hard now at this age to stop caring so much about what people think, because I think that prevented me from also doing a lot of living. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
I obviously made mistakes, but I feel like you learn more from those things that scare you and that are mistakes. And I didn't really do a lot of them because I was just really concerned with what people were going to think about me and all that stuff. Also, my mom would have flipped if I would have had like boyfriend after boyfriend. So yeah, and so I was basically just always home. And I remember my brother even being like, so this is what you're going to do now? Like, you're just going to be home? And I used to watch all my like sister's kids and like his kids sometimes, and he was like, this is all you're going to do? I really didn't know what else.
And what age was that? Like, what was that?
Like in my early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did have like jobs here and there, but he was like, this is like what you're going to do? And I was just like, I really didn't know what else I was going to do. I had no clue. Like, then I was like, okay. And then I like started going to school and all that stuff. And I know a lot of people here that come to the gym. And I know Stephanie wanted to know like what I did.
That's one of my questions. Like, what did she do before?
Yeah,
this?
so I worked like I worked like for a real estate office. I worked for this like art company too, where they would just like sell like duplicates and stuff like that, prints. And I worked for the Disney store too, which I really love.
You would love it.
I would love it because I got to wear a tiara.
You still got it?
No, I don't. I should. But and then I worked for my most recent job before here, and I worked there for I think 13 years. I worked for a medical office. I just started off just like administrative help, and I met some of my best friends I met there. Shout out to Clarissa and Violet, and then my old boss, Dr. Mercado, which is probably the closest thing that I'll ever have to like a dad.
Oh.
Yeah, I love him so much, and I miss him too. That was probably, and I worked there for so long. Like, all those people saw me grow up.
You don't talk to him or anything anymore?
Yeah. I keep in touch with everybody from there.
So when did you start that job? Like, you said 13 years ago. You said.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's been a while. I can't even do the math. It was hard enough for me to figure out when I started coaching. But I just know I worked there 12 to 13 years. And then I ended up running the office. And then once I was like, okay, I had to like ask myself the question again, kind of like when my brother was like, "Is this all you're gonna do?" I had to ask myself that too. Like I started to have a passion for the gym. This was basically like my part-time job, just working out here. And
So you were in here at OCF working out while
correct.
you were at
While
that.
I was at that job.
Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, I was there for that whole time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, should I take a chance? Like, I obviously like the fitness, I like the, how things run here. I like how, Angela and Becca coach. And like, I was just like, I would strive to want to be like them at some point. And I'm like, okay, let me take a chance and see. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I hate it or I'm not good at it. And so I was like, okay, let me try it. And so I was still at that job when I was doing the internship here and all that stuff. I thought I would just be a part-time coach. And that's not where Angela was leading to. He wanted me to be here full-time. And it took me, I knew that it was the right choice because I was very scared about it. And I would cry and cry and cry. I really did. I did so much
You're
crying.
such a crier,
I
man.
am such a crier. I would cry about it so much. Like, I would talk to people about it. Like, I'm leaning towards leaving. And then I'd start crying because, I was very comfortable at that place. But that doesn't always mean the best. And, like I said, I had really good friends there, and my boss, who's like my dad, I would miss him. And, but I chose to, leave it and then come here and try my luck. And so I've been here 2.5 years full time, and that's my life.
And we're here doing a podcast now.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. That's so crazy.
I know.
We're gonna get more in depth, but like I really like to get into like, who the baby daddy was and stuff like that, and see all that. But I mean, this is nice little clip notes of like our lives and
I
what we
told
wanted
you
to get
I'm
through.
about
So.
positive energy. He's not positive energy.
No, that's all. All
But-
right. So I guess it's my turn now. So so like we were gonna originally do this into 2 episodes, but we just kind of wanted to get out the way, get our viewers into what the actual podcast is gonna be about, right? Our third episode is gonna be legitly our podcast and how it's gonna go instead of just our long stories and stuff like that, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm George Perez. So if you want to look me up on Facebook or anything like that. I'm 33 years old, even though I look super, super young.
Wow.
So they tell me, not just kidding.
Wow.
So anyways, and my birthday's on Christmas. Jesus stole my thunder.
No
So,
way,
yeah.
I did not know that.
So my birthday's on Christmas. So.
Also, George is private, low key. George is private about weird things. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm private about a lot of things. So all my life not all my life, but early on in my childhood, I was born in Little Village, and Little Village is a rough neighborhood. I'm pretty sure Melrose Park was rough too. But yeah, we were like in the heart of like violent city. We're on 24th and Whipple.
That's dope.
And, yeah, so actually the crazy thing is that next door growing up, the head of the Latin Kings lived next door to us.
Wow.
So it was
So you guys saw stuff.
yeah, we saw things and when we were younger and but yeah, so I am one of 5 siblings. I'm also the baby. So
Oh God, that makes so much sense.
yeah, it makes so much sense. But yeah, so I have 2 older brothers and two sisters. So Jose, Luis, Yolanda, Teresa. So Jorge. Yeah. So basically we live next to this gang-infested place, and I mean, knock on wood that none of us ended up being in gangs or anything
That's
like that, or
awesome.
like stuck or addicted to kind of drugs or anything like that. But we saw a lot of things, and we noticed where we didn't want to go in the route stuff. Well, like any, I guess, Latino or Mexican family, I mean, my mom was a gangster too. She fucking 3 jobs, 2 jobs. She worked
Yeah.
overnight, and we didn't really get to see her. So my brothers,
Yeah.
fed us and took care of us. And
Yeah. That's
So-
same with me. Like
Yeah.
honestly, my sisters and my brother, they I'm sure it was probably the most annoying part of their life, but
Yeah.
taking care of me, the baby, right?
Yeah.
Like feeding me and all that stuff. So my mom worked a
yeah,
lot
and,
too.
and we
Yeah.
still hear it though now.
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
my
yeah.
God, we still hear it. Like,
So
all the
much
time.
resentment.
Yeah.
Like let's move on.
yeah.
Let's move on, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, it's also like I guess a lot of us, like my dad wasn't around either. I only have pictures. So I don't have memories, but I have
Really?
pictures. Yeah, so I
Oh,
have
wow.
pictures. So well, it's funny because we'll get deeper into that later on. But
Okay.
like my all of my mom's family is in Mexico, but all of my dad's family is here. So
Okay.
I'm really, really, really close with my dad's family, and I see him once in a while, like at family parties and stuff like that. And my grandma has always been like, "When are you gonna talk to your dad? And when are you gonna do this?
Oh
And
my
when are you gonna do that?"
gosh.
And so like I mean, and there's weird moments like where he reaches out to me, and I'm just kind of like that's kind of like over with already. So it's kind of weird. So
God, we live such similar lives.
yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So yeah,
Wow.
so then my mom, you know, she finally found the opportunity to move us out to a better place, which is like the neighboring city, I
I
guess,
love it,
right?
yeah.
Which is Cicero,
It-
and so that's
it's
where I spend. Yeah,
It's technically a village.
Yeah, so
Merle's
it-
Park is also a village.
yeah. So I guess Cicero Village.
Yeah, the
but
village
yeah,
of
so
Cicero.
and that's where I spent most of my teens and my high
Awesome.
school career, and
So you went to Morton?
yeah, I went to Morton East, and that's where I went to high school. And I didn't graduate from there because I wasn't gonna graduate. I was one of those, I'm too smart for school, and I'm too good for this stuff. And
This is just very typical youngest in the family.
yeah.
stuff.
So and
I
I,
mean,
and I
I-
found
I
it
get-
really
yeah.
boring. I found school really really
I
boring.
like school.
So unless it was something that I was really interested in, I really put my attention into it. So yeah, so I didn't graduate from there. I ended up going to an alternative school.
Oh my God,
in-
that is so awesome.
yeah.
I went to an alternative school too, but because I was pregnant.
Look at all these things we're figuring out.
But because
yeah.
I was pregnant.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna graduate.
And
so.
yeah, I was pregnant, and they
That's so
thought-
cool.
Yeah,
Which one did you go to?
I went Talents.
Talents?
That's
I
what it
went
was
to,
called.
I went to a very small one because it just started.
Yeah, mine had just started
yeah,
too.
it's called
yeah.
Rudy Lozano.
I
So
don't
it's
think
called-
Talents exists anymore.
Yeah. So, no, Rudy Lozano is actually really
It's a big thing now?
Like huge now. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
So-
like I think 12 of us.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of us.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think so I think it was a class of 23 people.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
we would do that. So like and,
Honestly,
like,
though, I loved it because when you're, I'm sure Mornings is the same. Verizon, the classes were so big,
Right.
and a lot of people are not there to learn, and it's very distracting. So I
Yeah.
liked the whole like small class scenario.
yeah, and I think another thing though is hard for me is like if you guys don't know, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a lover. I'm not a fighter or anything like that. So like a lot of those kids in there, they were in there because they had to live and survive, and I was just there because I was
You're
being a dumbass in
goofing
school.
off.
Yeah, I was goofing off in school,
I'll
and I
fight.
didn't have enough credits and shit. So
I'll fight real quick.
yeah, so I went to
I'll fight you.
I went to the school because I already had the credits enough, so my credits kind of transferred.
That's
so it's kind of
awesome.
weird way. So I only had to be there for a year, and
Yeah, I was only there for like a semester
so,
and a
yeah.
half. Yeah.
so I just had to tough it out for a year, and then so yeah, I graduated high school, and I went to school for a little bit, but like I said, I hated school. So
Really?
I went
It's
to
just not your
Northeastern
thing.
for a little bit.
Oh,
and,
nice.
collected a little bit of debt.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then from 20 to like 25, it's all a blur. Like it's just, women problems, cheating shit, fucking, jobs at a bank. I went from bank to bank to bank. I thought I was cool because I was wearing ties and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So I went to a bunch of different jobs, and I was lost. And then yeah, so at the age 2 weeks before my 27th birthday, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh,
so
no
yeah,
way.
Yeah.
George, this is such a
Yes.
great
yeah.
revealing thing right now.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I really don't like to tell anybody. I don't
Yeah.
like pity parties
yeah.
or anything like that, and I don't like people to know, or look at me different. So, but yeah, so I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and
Was it like advanced?
No, it wasn't. So
Was it
thank God,
early?
yeah, it wasn't. So so yeah, I was running, and my right side just goes fully numb, and I was like, man, that's not right. And so yeah, I go to the doctor, and then so yeah, I was diagnosed with that. So when somebody tells you that you're living your life, you're 26-year-old,
And you're just,
fucking
like,
hell yeah, I'm
bouncing from-
invincible,
yeah,
I'm gonna live forever.
Bouncing around.
Yep, and then some guy tells you, yeah, you have cancer, man. You gotta, all your 27 year, you have to go to radiation. So I had to go to radiation for about 9 to 10 months, almost every single day. So my job was like, and the thing I was working for my cousin, which owned No Mancha's clothing company, and I was like their
They're
screen
awesome.
printer. I was like their graphic designer and stuff like that. And and yeah, so I had to go like every fucking day to radiation and stuff like that. And then and and thank God it didn't spread, and they caught it in time and stuff like that. And but once that ended, like you just realize like what the fuck am I doing in my life, and you're just like what the fuck's going on. And I was in a terrible place career-wise. I was in a terrible relationship. Some of it due to me, some of it due to her, and it doesn't matter whose fault it was. It just wasn't working out. And so yeah, it was hard because my two closest cousins, I left them with their business, and I pulled myself away from all my family. I pulled myself away, not my immediate family, like my brothers and sisters and stuff like that, but I broke up with this girl, and I just really took advantage of my happiness. And then kind of just fast forward, you know, I meet Stephanie, and I go through this life-changing style, and I just try to grow and stuff like that. And now I have a baby. I'm working here. I got a new career, and I'm a videographer and trying to build two businesses. One with my best friend with the meal prep company. And that's kind of where we're at. And I think we're going to get more into those kind of things now because they're more recent in our life throughout the podcast. But yeah, that's kind of my story.
Wow, that was intense, guys.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah, at OCF no one knows. I don't think anybody knows.
Does Angelo know?
No, Angelo doesn't know neither. So
Wow.
yeah. Yes, Angelo. I think it never comes up though. You know what I mean? It never. I don't think there's a reason for it to come up. You know?
That's how I feel about the girl's dad. He was kind
He's
of
the
like
cancer.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll just end it there. That was
we just don't want to talk about that. Yeah, but
I mean, but we can. I mean, it's
yeah,
something
definitely.
that a big part of your life, a big part of my
Right,
life.
yeah.
So we can definitely elaborate on those things later on. But
yeah, for sure.
wow. Yeah, a lot of
So hopefully you
similarities.
guys learn something about me. You guys learn something about Susie,
Wow,
and
yeah.
but yeah, that's a little bit of our lives. So, but I mean, there's so much more deep
There's
down.
so much
like,
more same.
Like we gotta get into Alaska over here. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So
yeah.
Alaska things and
My Alaska girls.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we're gonna go deep into
Yeah.
the podcast, right?
Yeah, I find it interesting that you're really close with your dad's family and stuff.
Yeah, that's yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Is your
it's-
dad from the same town?
No, he's. You know, honestly, I don't know where my dad's
Okay.
from. So I think he's from
Jalisco too?
but I don't know what.
Oh my God,
where
what if
he's
your dad's from the same town as my dad?
No, he's not though. For sure, he's not because they're more
South?
I know because that's where my grandma's from. And
If you want a little geography lesson, and if you look at a map of Jalisco, Mexico, we're the little tiny, like little three-pointed part at
Right.
the top. Really, we shouldn't be a part of Jalisco.
it looks like a fork.
yeah,
So,
it looks like a
little
fork.
like just like
We're like annexed
Yeah.
into Jalisco. We don't even.
we
not-
should actually be
Zacatecas,
Zacatecas,
yeah.
yeah. We should actually be. How would it Zacatec?
Zacatecanos.
There you go. You see, she's awesome on this.
Yeah, Zacatecanos.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a little bit more about us. And now that we got those introductions gone from why the podcast in the first episode, and now who we are in the second episode. Wait, did I say the second episode twice? No, the
No.
first episode was why about the podcast, and the second episode was us, and a little taste of what kind of
Yeah.
the podcast was in the beginning. So
Yeah. Really interesting.
yeah,
I love
pretty
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
My energy was a little low today. But
Yes, I didn't like it.
yeah, she felt it when she walked
I
in.
felt it.
She felt the vibes.
I'm very sensitive to people's energies. If your energy is low, I don't like it. It makes me feel low. It makes me feel kind of like I have to walk on eggshells. But yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I got a little bit of energy before I got here, so we got lucky because I was really drained, and I was just like, oh, then I got a nice little email, and then
Yeah.
so yeah. So.
Good. George works
Yeah.
a lot. I work a lot. So I definitely have to do a lot to get myself in a good energy mood. Yeah, I understand for sure.
Yeah, guys. So check it out. We're trying to release 2 podcasts every month. So every 2 weeks, we're trying to release one. By the time this one's out, we definitely should be on Spotify
Yeah.
and iTunes.
Yeah, we're
by
having
then.
some difficulties with it
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
having some
so.
difficulties with it. Maybe they're not approving all of Susie's swearing and shit. So. So,
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
and the next time will be more, I know, right? Podcast.
right. We'll be
Yeah.
now we can get into the nitty gritty about what we are, what's going on. just getting more about our thoughts, ideas, opinions, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And by the time we film next, we will be discussing a little bit about the Super Bowl and Tamales Day for Mexicans, which is February the 2nd,
Yeah.
Dia de la Candelaria. And we'll talk a little bit about that because I am also very Mexican AF.
Yeah, so and that's a nice little break for us too. We don't have to record that weekend. So but before we go, where could they find you if they want to just hit you up or get your coaching advice or
Definitely, guys. Any questions as far as fitness or coaching, or maybe if you have a little energy questions about how to deal with George or someone like him, you can reach me at pinkgreen31 on Instagram. Don't try to look for me on Twitter, even though I'm there. And Susie Castro, Susie. I know it's spelled with a silent E. I'm sorry. That's how my mom spelled it. On Facebook.
And she doesn't have a Tinder, guys, so
Not
take
yet.
it easy, okay? And then if you want to follow me, I don't know why you would, but my name is on Instagram is George the Content Creator. And on Facebook is just Jorge Perez.
Don't you
George.
dare be self-deprecating. They would want to reach out to you. They
Yeah.
want to.
But yeah, guys, so looking forward to episode 3, which should be coming out in maybe 2-3 weeks.
2
So,
weeks, yeah.
So. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.